I'm standing in my childhood living room, relatives fawning over my sister's debate trophy, their eyes skimming past me like I'm invisible. She's the star, they'd say, while I shrank into the background, my heart sinking. Fast forward 10 years. I'm on a stage, accepting an award for my own work, while those same relatives beg for my attention, stunned I'm no longer the other one. If you've ever felt overlooked, underestimated, or stuck in someone's shadow, stick around. This is my story of stepping into my own light, and trust me, the payback feels incredible. Intro call to action, next 15 to 20 seconds. Hey everyone, I'm MIA, a graphic designer from Portland, Oregon. Today, I'm sharing a deeply personal story from my life, one about pain, invisibility, and a comeback that changed everything. If you've ever felt like you were second best, this one's for you. Smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into a story that might just inspire you to shine. Ready? Here we go. Let's go back to 2009. I was 17, a lanky high school junior in a small town outside Portland, living in a cozy house that always smelled faintly of my mom's lavender candles. My little sister, Emma, was 14, and she was the golden child. Straight A's, piano recitals that left audiences teary, debate team trophies lining our mantle like a shrine. She had this radiant smile, her blonde curls bouncing as she charmed everyone, teachers, neighbors, our parents' friends. Emma's going places. They'd gush, their voices bright with awe. And me, I was the other one. MIA, the quiet sister, the one who got B's, who tripped over her own feet in gym class, who doodled in notebooks instead of raising her hand. Family gatherings were the worst. Relatives would swarm Emma, their faces lit up as she recounted her latest speech win, the room filled with the clink of wine glasses and bursts of laughter. I'd hover by the snack table, picking at pretzels, my stomach twisting as aunts and uncles offered me polite smiles. And you, MIA, what are you up to? They'd ask, their tone flat, already glancing back at Emma. My throat would tighten, my fingers fidgeting with my sweater. Oh, just school stuff, I'd mumble, my voice barely audible over the chatter. Inside, I'd scream, I'm here too. Don't you see me? But I'd shrink back, the weight of the disinterest pressing down like a heavy fog. The antagonist wasn't just one person, it was the collective dismissal of my family, with my Aunt Linda as the ringleader. Linda was my mom's older sister, a retired teacher with a sharp tongue and a knack for comparison. She'd sit at our dining table, her glasses perched on her nose, praising Emma's genius, while barely acknowledging me. Emma's a prodigy, she'd say, her voice carrying like a judge's gavel. MIA, you should take notes from your sister. Don't you want to make something of yourself? Her words stung, sharp and cold, my cheeks burning as I stared at my plate, fork trembling in my hand. Make something of myself. I wasn't lazy. I loved drawing, creating worlds in my sketchbook, but no one cared about that. To them, I was invisible, a shadow next to Emma's blinding light. By 17, I gave up competing. Why try when I'd always lose? I skipped soccer tryouts, even though I wasn't half bad. I didn't apply to top colleges, settling for a local community college instead, telling myself, it's fine. Emma's the star, not me. But invisibility carved deep scars. I'd lie awake at night, the hum of crickets outside my window, my chest tight with a hollow ache. What's wrong with me? Why am I never enough? The powerlessness settled into my bones, a quiet betrayal. Not from Emma, who never asked for the spotlight, but from a family that decided I didn't deserve one. When I moved out at 19, renting a tiny studio in Portland, I carried that belief. I was second best. At my first job, a graphic design gig at a small marketing firm, I downplayed my work. I'd create logos, my fingers dancing over my tablet, the soft glow of my screen lighting up my late-night ideas, but when my boss praised me, I'd shrug. It's nothing special, I'd say, my voice small, my heart racing with fear they'd see through me. In relationships, I settled for less, guys who didn't call back, friends who talked over me. I'd sit at coffee shops with my friend Rachel, a confident photographer with a booming laugh, and feel myself shrink. She's the star, I'd think, stirring my latte, the steam curling up as I faded into her shadow. The tension built through my 20s. Aunt Linda's comments followed me, echoing at family reunions. At 25, during a Thanksgiving dinner, the dining room warm with the scent of roasted turkey, Linda cornered me. MIA, still doodling. When are you going to get a real career like Emma? Emma, now a law student, blushed and tried to change the subject, but Linda pressed on. You need to step up, MIA. You're wasting your potential. My jaw clenched, my nails digging into my palms under the table, the room spinning with humiliation. Wasting my potential. I was designing campaigns for major clients, but to her, it was doodling. I forced a smile, my voice tight. I'm doing fine, Aunt Linda. But inside, I was screaming, stop comparing me. I'm not her. The breaking point came at 28. I'd started therapy after a bad breakup. My therapist's office, a quiet haven with soft blue walls and the faint scent of chamomile tea. Why do you think you're not enough? She asked, her voice gentle. I froze, my throat tightening, memories flooding back, Linda's jabs, my parents' proud smiles for Emma, the years of fading into the background. Tears spilled down my cheeks, my hands shaking as I admitted, I've always been the other one. That session cracked me open. I wasn't talentless. I wasn't forgettable. I'd just been overlooked, and I'd let it define me. No more, I thought, my heart pounding with a new fire. I'm done being invisible. I started my revenge. Not against Emma, but against the narrative that I was less. I poured myself into my art, taking on freelance projects, my stylus flying as I created vibrant designs for startups and nonprofits. I'd work late, the city's neon lights flickering outside my window, my fingers cramped but my spirit soaring. This is me. This is my light. I built a portfolio, my confidence growing with every client email praising my work. I joined online artist communities, connecting with creators who saw my talent, their encouragement like oxygen to a dying flame. I even pitched a passion project, a graphic novel about a girl finding her voice, inspired by my own journey. My hands shook as I sent the proposal, my pulse racing, but I whispered to myself, you're enough. At 29, my graphic novel, Out of the Shadows, got picked up by a major publisher. It wasn't just a book, it was my heart on paper, every page a defiance of the other one label. The launch event was in a Portland bookstore, the air thick with the smell of fresh pages and coffee, the room packed with fans and industry folks. I stood at the podium, my voice steady despite the butterflies in my stomach, sharing my story of growing up in Emma's shadow and finding my own light. The crowd leaned in, some wiping tears, others cheering. Then I saw them, Aunt Linda and my parents, standing at the back, their faces frozen in shock. Linda's mouth hung open, her glasses slipping down her nose, the smug certainty gone. My parents' eyes glistened, pride replacing their old indifference. After the event, Linda approached, her voice unsteady. "MIA, I had no idea you were this talented. Can I get a signed copy? For my book club." The audacity hit me, but I felt no anger, just power. I smiled, calm and unwavering. "Thanks, Linda. I've always been more than the other one. Glad you see it now." Her cheeks flushed, her eyes darting away, humiliated in front of the crowd who'd just celebrated me. My parents hugged me, whispering apologies, their voices thick with regret. The validation surged through me, a warm tide of triumph. I'd stepped into my light, not by dimming Emma's, but by shining as myself. My chest felt light, like I'd finally exhaled years of pain, pride blooming where invisibility once lived. The book climbed bestseller lists, my inbox flooded with messages from readers who'd felt overlooked, too. "Your story is mine," they wrote, and I'd cry reading 'em, my heart full. Emma called, her voice warm. "MIA, I'm so proud. I never wanted you to feel less. We rebuilt our bond, stronger, no competition between us. At 30, I'm still designing, still writing, still learning to stand tall without shrinking." This journey showed me that revenge isn't always about tearing someone down. Sometimes it's about building yourself up so brightly they can't look away. Justice comes when you claim your worth, and karma catches up when you stop letting others define you. If you've ever felt invisible, know this. Your light is there, waiting for you to step into it. Wow, that was emotional, right? If this story hit home or gave you that satisfying rush of justice, smash that like button and drop a comment. Have you ever felt stuck in someone's shadow? How did you break free? I read every comment, so let's hear your story. And if you want more tales of triumph over unfair odds, subscribe and hit that bell. You won't want to miss what's next. Thanks for being here, and remember, you're never the other one. You're the star of your own story. See you in the next video.